Hi, this is Christina Plochet with Web Design Development 331, and we're going to talk about the CSS shapes. And I picked the infinity symbol because it's symbolic of eternity, and also because it's a sideways 8 and I have 8 kids, so I like this symbol. But we're going to start with talking about how to make it. So the first thing we need is a div element, but you can see here there's nothing in it, but we've given this a class of infinity. And then we're going to come over here to our CSS and we're going to style it. The first thing we're going to style is the class itself, infinity. And we're going to give it a relative position and a width and a height. Now, what this does is it makes space for the shape that we're going to create. I like to think of it kind of like the canvas. And to show you what we've created here, I'm going to just throw in a border. So you can see that right here is the shape of our canvas that we're going to build this shape in. So I'm going to remove that, but that helps me to realize what we're doing here, because the next thing that we're doing is we have this infinity before and after. So we're actually styling two like selectors, and I like to think of them as it's going to create two shapes within this box here, one before, one after, and since we have nothing within the box really, then that's why this is going to work. So the before and after selectors will put content before or after, like this element. But we put nothing in here. We're going to give it an absolute position. That way it is fixed within that box. If you can imagine what we had with that red border there. It's up at the top and to the left. And now I gave these percentages for width and height, and the border I also did with the M, and the border radius I did with the percentages, because I wanted something that was a little bit more responsive than the initial examples that I saw were all in pixels, and if I changed anything the shape would kind of deteriorate. So I tried to use some percentages here, even though the width and height they still have to stick with pixels. So but that works. So what this does here, we've got the width of 30% and the height of 60%, and then this border and the border radius. So the border radius, you can see it's going to make the bottom right corner a square, like it's not going to be curved, and then the whole thing is at an angle. So what this does is it actually makes like two shapes that are identical, but we need to see the one that's after, so that we need to flip it. So that's why we have to pull out the dot infinity after pseudo element and make this, instead of being a left of 0, this one's going to be auto and the right will be 0. So we're going to pull this shape over to the right, which you can see over here, and give the border radius, we're going to change which corner is not round on this one. So this one's going to be the bottom left one that's not round. And you can kind of see this here because we rotate it so that they match up, but we're going to show you what this looks like by taking this out. So you can see that, well, that's the bottom of that shape that's not round. And then you can see it here as well if we take that out. So you can see that's like, you can imagine kind of like the square there and this is the bottom part. So, and this other one is rotated still because it's like you can tell if we take them both out, you can see what it does. So we're going to put those back in, and that's the shape we created, right? So we're giving it the rotation so that they meet up here in the middle, and then we have our infinity symbol. And the advantage to doing it this way is that we could use the symbol in other places now, because we have this class that defines the shape. So fun stuff. Thanks.